I'm back to Tell the Truth channel. Please hit subscribe, share my content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. Okay, it's something that I heard one of my mentors was talking to me about. Now, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the mentors that helped me with my spiritual journey. I'm not talking about them mentors. I'm talking about the mentors that God have. That's His servants. They are His servants, and they work for Him. So I had got. I heard what she was talking about today, and it made a lot of sense. But also, my daddy want me to speak on this too, because what she said made a lot of sense to him, and he wanted me to speak on it from what she said. So I'm about to speak on this. Okay, now it's about the man's and the women's. Now it's not just all about the man's; it's about the women's too. Okay, it go both ways. Okay, now what she said that man's will always give it up to a woman. And I'm not going to say that it's all, I'm not going to say that it's partially true on that, what she said, that they would do that. Because some mans do have um, respect for themselves and some mans don't. So you don't have every man out there would just drop their drawers anytime a woman walk past them. Every man is not like that. And then you don't have that every woman would drop her panties for this man. Every woman is not like that. It's women's out there that have um, respect for themselves. Okay, because everybody don't do the same. But what she said partially did make sense on that. You know, mans do have to have a certain woman and they face to drop their draws. Okay, now this is what my daddy is speaking on, because my daddy say love people for who they are. But, some mans have they picks on what type of woman that they want to be around them or don't want to be around them. I hope this makes sense to y'all what I'm saying. Okay, now, these mans want women that they have to have a perfect body. Now, I'm not going to say all mans. I'm saying some mans. Some women's has to have a perfect body in order for a man to drop his drawers. Now, some mans don't it don't matter to some mans, because some mans don't judge the book by its cover. Some mans walk the way my father walked when it comes to his children's. Some mans. Some mans don't look at it like that. Some mans look at the book by its cover, and some mans don't judge the book by its cover. Okay? And that's why these women go out here and get all these lifts and stuff on their bodies to want these mans to want them. But they got to understand that you have some mans that just don't have no class about themselves. So yes, that's the type of woman they're gonna go after, because they don't have class. And then you have mans out here that do have class about themselves, that's gonna judge the person for who they are, and gonna look at this person for what's inside of them, the soul inside of their body, their heart. That's what they look at. The man that walks like my daddy walks, that, judge his children for who they are. And you got to look at the women's. Now, this is something that the mans don't know about women's because they be too busy trying to get into the women's bodies, trying to get into their drawers instead of trying to find out what the woman thinks and what the woman wants. They don't think about that. And see, this is what man's got to understand. That women's, they don't judge man's for now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of women's out here. It's they look at man's for their physique, which they do, how they look. And then you have women's out here that don't look at man's for their physique and how they look. They judge a man the same way my father judged his children's, some women's. Now, some women's would go and get all of this on their body for these mans because they know that certain mans want certain looks. But a woman, really in her eyes, certain women's just want a man. He can be the no, I'm not trying to talk about nobody or none of that. I'm just telling y'all exactly how men's and women's think. Okay? Now, a woman, she will pick the ugliest man on God's green earth and be with this man because she know that this man is going to love her regardless of who she is. He's going to love her because this man feels that if he's ugly, that don't no other woman gonna want him. But that's not true. That's not true. But that's how certain men think because they have that insecurity about themselves. And some women love a man for who they is. He can be nice looking or nice looking. They just see what they see in that man. That's it. They just see what my father sees about his children. That's with some women. And these mans don't understand that they know that women's, it's not every woman now. Every woman don't want a man because he have a penis in his pants. Every woman don't want that. You got to look at this. It's just like the same way with a woman. Some women have a high drive, like a man have a high drive. So some men got to have sex. Some women's got to have sex. So it's not with every woman. It's not with every woman. It's just that that's how their high drive is. Believe me, I'm telling you the truth. They try to control that high drive. They try. Just as well as the man's try to control it. But it seems like it's hard for them to control that high pitch drive that they have. That they have to have it. Like they have to have it. And which they don't understand that by them figuring that they have to have it, that they put themselves in a situation that they got to answer to my daddy at the end of the day. Because once they go out there and they do all of that with these different mans and different women's, they giving themselves soul ties to different other mans, and then they put in their mind is not functioning like it should, because they have all these soul ties in their mind that they not focusing right. So they don't know, after they done had sex with all of these people, they don't know if they coming or going because their mind is all messed up because they got all these soul ties in their bodies. So they don't know which way is up and which way is down. And that's how certain men's and certain women's are. They have that high pitch that they can't control it, if which they can, because all they have to do is just go to my Father and get on their knees and pray and ask him to help them with the high pitched drive that they got to help them, stop it. He can do that if that's what they want. But if that's not what they want and they like what they doing, then they're not gonna ask for help. They just gonna keep on until somebody end up with AIDS, end up with syphilis, end up with clamps or whatever disease out there that comes that way. Because people don't realize that when they got these high pitched drives, that they are putting their life in jeopardy. They don't realize that they are doing that. They think that they just going out there having a good time with all, with who all they want to have a good time with, and end up with something that they can't get rid of. Because sometimes when you get these diseases, sometimes you cannot get rid of these diseases. These diseases take you off earth. And that's what people that have a high pitched drive got to realize, that once they do that, they put in their life in jeopardy that can end them in a blink of an eye. That's what they got to think about. So that's why my daddy don't want people judging the book by its cover. Because it's men out there like women for who they are. They can be skinny, big, little, whatever. They love it. Because they look at it the way my daddy look at it. And then you have mans and women out here that love mans for their physique and for their body. So that's why certain women go out here and get all of this done on their bodies, to make a man, to be appealing to a man. And that's not right. That's not right, because a man's supposed to love you for who you are, not for what they see on the outside. They're supposed to love you from the outside to the inside. That's the way it's supposed to be when it comes to a man and a woman. But you just have some mans out there that just don't, they have their picks. And then you have women out there that have their picks. And that's not right. You should just love everybody for who they are. And that's the way it should be. And that's why the world is the way it is today. Because these women is trying to make these mans, look at them for, they go out here and they change themselves for this man to look at them a different way. When a man should just look at a woman for who she are. And the same as the woman should look, the man shouldn't have to go out there and change himself for who he are. And this woman should look at him for who he is. Because now I'm hearing that men is out here trying to get their penises, enhanced for women's to, want them, because the women's is judging the man's now for their penises. That's so crazy. Jesus. Lord Jesus, this is crazy. They are judging the man's for their penises. So now man's figuring that if their penises is not big enough for a woman, that the woman ain't gonna want to be with them. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, mans. That's not with every woman. Because a woman gonna love a man for who he are. Everybody don't look at people for what they have in their pants or whatever. This is just, this is so weird. It's so crazy to me. Why would y'all think that? But we ain't perfect. My father didn't make none of us perfect. We not perfect. Okay? We all have um, problems with our bodies. We all have problems with our bodies. And if you got a partner and your partner gonna love you for your flaws and all, it doesn't matter. They're gonna love you for your flaws and all. And whatever you go through, your partner is gonna stand by with you and help you for what you go through. If you're going through anything, all you have to do is sit down with your partner and talk to your partner about it, and you and your partner can work it out together. Don't go out there and do something that your partner might not appreciate, because your partner might like your penis for what it is. You get what I'm saying? And then you go out there and do something that you thought that your partner wanted you to change, and then that partner didn't want that. Then you looking crazy. And then you looking at, oh my God, I thought that's what he wanted. I thought that's what she wanted. No, because you got to understand that some people just love you for who you are, you know? And that's what these men and women's got to understand. You don't have to go and change yourself just to please a person. If a person gonna love you, they're gonna love you for who they are. If they don't love you for who you are, but then that's not the person for you. That's not the person for you. If that person can't accept you for who you are, then that is not the person for you. You let it go, you walk away, and to my daddy, send the person that's for you. Because it's always somebody out there is for you. Don't go do something that you're going to regret at the end of the day and then you can't change it. That's what y'all got to look at. Love each other for who they are and who you are. Love each other for who you are and who they are. That's the best thing to do. And when y'all start doing that and loving each other for who each other is, then you won't have to go out there and get all these changes on your body just to please somebody. If you got to do all that, then you might as well just, be by yourself. Because if you can't find somebody that's going to love you for who you are, then it's not the time for you to get the person that love you, that's going to love you for who you are. Just be yourself. Don't try to please nobody. Please yourself. Not please that person. Please yourself. Love yourself first. And when you love yourself first, that's when that partner going to come in and love you for you. And that's the way it goes. You have to love yourself first in order for somebody to love you. You got to put yourself first. You are number one. You are number one. So always put number one first before you put somebody else first. But let me get it like this. Always put Jesus and Father and the Holy Ghost first. Then yourself, then the other person. That's what you do. So this is what my father wanted me to speak on to y'all. That y'all got to understand that y'all have to stop doing what y'all doing to please people. He wants y'all to love y'all for who y'all is. Because if a person gonna love you, that person gonna love you for who you are. And that's it. And if he don't or she don't, then they's not the one for you. You just wait until that person come that's for you. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day. Jesus love you. Father love you. The Holy Ghost love you. I love you. Everybody love you. Thank y'all for listening to me. And I'll talk to y'all soon.